Hello, friends! I'm back and busy and I don't have any other B words. I noticed that I seem to relate with people a lot on living in small spaces, whether that be a studio or not. And one thing that has helped me live in a small space is being effective with storage, storing my stuff. So today I figured I would show you how I organize and store my stuff in a 600 square foot studio. That's a lot of S's. First thing, which is not the point of the video, is to get rid of stuff. I was a maximalist. I'm nowhere near being a minimalist, but I have made many strides in that direction. So step one, go through your stuff and decide what you actually need. Do you actually need 48 coffee cups when you live alone? No, you don't. Things like that. Yes, sometimes it's great and more cost efficient to buy things in bulk. Sometimes in a studio, it's worth saving space to not. Okay, the first thing that you're gonna need a lot of is baskets. Baskets are your lifesaver. You need beautiful baskets for the open and ugly baskets for closed off spaces. One of the spots I store the most baskets is the room divider that I did a whole video on. If you wanna check out that video, I'll link it below. I'll try to be technologically savvy. The great thing about this room divider is not only does it divide my living space from my bed space, but it has so much storage. So let's start with the cute storage. I'll show you what I put in the boxes. As you might remember from the video where I set this thing up, I registered for Morty, what you doing? Sorry. I registered for 6 identical boxes to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For now, this is temporary. In these boxes down here, I store shoes. So, shoes here, few boots out, and shoes there. Those are all tucked away. And I have denim here, and then I kind of keep random things here. I keep my work shirt here, and a couple things that I actually use frequently here, like a charger, a lighter, and a game. So that's what's in my beautiful boxes out here. Up here, this whole box is dedicated to lint rollers because of somebody. Oh, sorry, was that scary? Anyways, another way I've stored things is I like open bedside tables because they don't look as bulky. To me, they look more modern, less outdated. And so I have a couple baskets under each of them where I store books, chargers, things like that. I've registered actually for some similar baskets with a lid on top so that I can hide that away completely. But this is what I have for now. And then in my built-in bookshelf over here, I have several more beautiful boxes that I have dedicated to various things. Being, up there is like my toolbox. I have, you know, hammers, screwdrivers, whatever. I'm too lazy to reach up there, so you just gotta trust me on it. This is my art and stationery box. I have paint brushes, paint, stationery, all that type of stuff. And then an electronic box, mostly camera stuff and a Slinky because that's an electronic. And then this is for important documents, things that you get in the mail and you don't want to throw away, but then you end up throwing away after a year because you realize they're actually not that important. Now for makeup. I do 3 different things to store makeup. Beautiful things that I use occasionally are here. Things I use every day are in here because sometimes when I go to auditions or whatever, I want to take my makeup with me, and this I'll pull out and put on the counter when I use it, and then just close it up and set it on top when I'm not using it. And then this whole other basket with a lid is full of stuff that I don't use too frequently. That's how I do makeup. Now, ugly boxes will literally be a lifesaver for a couple reasons. When you think about how much stuff you can put on a shelf, it's so much stuff. You know, it's a certain amount of stuff. When you put it in a box, you now have vertical space, so you can stack stuff on top of each other without it falling over, and you can categorize each box, easily pull out a box to get what you need from the inside. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna show you the first spot that I use a lot of those types of boxes, and that's actually my closet. These ugly boxes, I got like a dozen of them for like, oh, I don't know, definitely less than $20. And I have them on both sides, and I just kind of remembered what's in what. Like I know for a fact that these are my yoga pants. Told you. Oh, medicines are in this last one over here. And it's very easy for me to just pull out everything I need and put it away. Could you imagine if I were to just stack everything here, how cluttered and ridiculous it would look, whereas I can put so much more in this box and will all look uniform and clean. But wait, the theme is continued in the kitchen. I have a whole cleaning box because I'm a neat freak. It is literally overflowing because I have so many cleaning supplies, but that's what that one is. And similarly, I have a whole box up here. That's all for hosting stuff. I have party stuff, like streamers, party bags, straws. Don't tell the turtles, I'm sorry, don't get mad at me. I don't use them very often. Paper plates, you know, everything that when I have people over, whether it's for a birthday or just for dinner and I don't want to use so many plates, that's all in here. And so much is fit in here. And it's so easy for me to put it away and really maximize that storage space right there. Now, I'm sure you already know this, but a lot of furniture has like dual purposes, or one of them is storage. There's ottomans that are dual purpose, benches, beds that have built-in drawers. I love all those types of things. I have gotten rid of actually most of them here because I've just gotten rid of a lot of stuff. But one thing that I do still have is I'm actually using it as a plant stand. I think it was intended to be a very cheap side table from Target. I'll show it to you. So this is a plastic side table that I'm using as a plant stand. And it has a removable lid, so I could store whatever I want in there. Just take the plant off, open this, and it's so much more storage that happens to look beautiful. So that is a tip that I definitely recommend if you're trying to squeeze in extra storage as well. Hello. Now, the best advice I could give you with living in a small space, whether that be a small one bedroom or a studio or whatever, is keep out the least amount of stuff you think you need. Because in a small space, you don't want to put stuff on display. Or if you do, you want to be very, very particular about it. I'll show you an example of that in my bathroom. Because the more stuff you could tuck away and hide away, whether that be in a box with a lid, or in a drawer, or you buy furniture that closes, the cleaner and more open your place will look. And as I mentioned earlier, a great way to do that is just get rid of stuff. But you can put a couple things on display and have them still look good. I'll show you an example in my bathroom. These are some things that I use every day, and so instead of having them in a drawer, I have them on display here, but I've made it look intentional. This is actually a cheese board. It's real marble. I got it at Marshall's for I think like $8, and having that anchor these things makes it look like a moment. It makes it look intentional, but it's 3 things I use every day. Lotion, I use this oil to remove my makeup, and my perfume from Brooke, and then a couple jewelry pieces that I just throw on. Side note, this was a kid's toy, and you know, like those colorful rubbery toys, and I literally painted it gold like in high school, and I still have it, and I don't fully know why, but I kind of like it. One last area that I've made kind of intentional display out of things I use frequently are these 3 shelves. It's a small, big, small shelf. I got these at Urban Outfitters for so cheap. My only complaint about them is they're on one nail, so they can like tilt easily if you don't balance whatever you're displaying in the center. But I've used it to almost create like a store display with a candle that I love the scent of from Trader Joe's. Shout out to Trader Joe's. A face wash and face mask combo, and then like little floss things. And I have another one of these here with, I use that to remove my makeup as well. And so those are little things I use every day, but still look intentional and beautiful because they're not just left out. They each have a centered spot, or they're in a beautiful container. I think that's also from Urban Outfitters. It has like a purposely shattered glass. It's hard to see. This looks messy, but it's just maximized. We'll call it that. The last piece of advice I have for you is being intentional about keeping your baskets separate if possible. For example, that back basket's all nail stuff, all hair stuff, all body stuff, and cleaning supplies with cat food. So just knowing that, oh, I'm looking for this nail polish, it has to be in that basket, really cuts down on time and really makes finding things a lot easier in a small space. Baskets are your besties! That's gonna be the hashtag for today. And then I'll go ahead and address this closet really quick. So when Brooke moves in, this will be his closet. So I'm trying very hard not to use it now so that I don't have to feel like I've acquired all this stuff and then have to move it out and don't know where to put it when he moves in. So all I have in there that's mine that I'm keeping is my jackets, and those will go back in my closet over here. But the other things I have in here are things I need to sell and get rid of because it just feels so good. It feels so good. And I want it out of my closet so I know it's not mine anymore. It will be sold. So that's my holding space. But we have these huge things up here that I treat almost like attic space or garage space. And I'll show you how I keep stuff in there. This side is the Christmas side. There's a Christmas tree, Christmas decor, and there's actually an air mattress back there and some deconstructed furniture. Suitcases. Mostly just suitcases over here. So it's very helpful to have a space to store those big things. However, I know not a lot of studio spaces have that. Not every small apartment has that like super deep up and away storage space, and I recognize that. Half the reason I moved in here was the built-in storage. But if you're in a place that doesn't have built-in storage, my solution to you is bed risers, for sure. Bed risers and a long duvet that essentially would reach the floor. If you could raise your bed like 4 or 6 inches, then underneath it you could store your suitcases, you could store storage bins with Christmas stuff in it, you could store whatever, and be intentional about, what is it, Russian nesting dolling your suitcases too. So if you have a big suitcase, put the medium one aside of that and the small one aside of that, close it all up, and it's just the size of your big suitcase, put it under your bed. That's one huge way to add extra storage into a small space and not have to see it, which is great. Okay guys, I hope there was a couple good takeaway points. If you have any suggestions for me that you learned living in a small space, please let me know, because I am still learning as well. But that's just what I do. The takeaway points are: get rid of stuff you don't need, don't buy in bulk if you don't have to unless it really just saves a lot of money, and baskets, baskets, baskets. And the things you do put out, make intentional by using a cheese board or a cute little tray or a little shelf or whatever, so that people are like, oh no, they didn't leave that out. That was meant to be there. Look at how cute it is. Well guys, thanks for watching. I'll try to think of more small space studio type videos. I feel like I just need to create an alliteration hashtag. Stuff in a small studio space. Stuff in a small studio space. That's a pretty good one. I'll work on it. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you're new here, I like you. So if you want to subscribe, that would be really cool, because then we can hang out more.